Karen here from KarenHedler.com. Welcome to my live. Lovely to see you all. I hope everyone is well and safe wherever you are. Tonight I want to talk about making the most of your designer series paper that you have that you think is absolutely gorgeous and you don't even want to cut it, let alone use it, but using it to the most maximum effect on your card, but still obviously creating a stunning card. And I know I was exactly like that with the Expressions in Ink designer series paper. It's just so beautiful that I really wanted to make it such a main feature of the card. So let me switch you over to the desktop and we will get going. Let me just change my camera and we will get started. Right, now I'm just going to check that I can see that, make sure the comments are going to come up. Oh, there we go. Right, now I'm just going to check that. Now I do this every week, don't I? I don't put it on silent, but there we go. Welcome, desktop. So Expressions in Ink, I'm sure all of you have seen this amazing suite in the catalogue. I know there's been lots and lots of cards with this, but it's just so beautiful. I just keep coming back to it because there's so much that you can do with it. And I just want to share one more thing with you with the paper, but this is on page 97 and the stamps are just gorgeous as well. Just beautiful. I love this whole watercolored look. When you stamp it, it just really gives you the light and dark colors. It's absolutely amazing. Right, the paper, of course, and I'm sure most of you would have seen all this by now, but just to quickly show you again how beautiful this paper is. I love this green, the green and the gold. And then there's the pinks. So one side has gold embossing and the other side doesn't. So if you are not wanting to use gold, you can flip it over. And this side, each side is just so beautiful. And that has just got the watercolor. It's got the pale papaya, and that's got the deeper green watercolor effect. These have got the gold stripes. So every single sheet of this, I'm using it for an extravaganza this weekend, and every single sheet has been used. So let's get started. We're going to do a little pop-up card, and I've pre-cut, and I've used the Stitch So Sweetly dies, which I seem to use a lot, but they really are quite handy. So the first thing we're going to do, we've got a card base. I've already, it's just using thick white cardstock. I've already used the soft succulent cardstock and cut the large die from this suite. And we will use that. Plus I've cut another one already. And I have cut with the smaller die out of the designer series paper, and I have already glued that onto there. Now, just when we put this together, this has to, you just check that it's going into the right, in the right way up, as you can see. So it just gives it that effect of looking as though it's really popped up. So that's glued on, and I'll just get some glue and glue this down. So it looks a little bit complicated with the bits and pieces, but it really is quite a straightforward card, and it really, as I say, makes the most. Why aren't you coming out? There we go. Makes the most of the designer series papers. Just put that there. Okay. So it's just the main focus is to line up the edges, because the center part you're not going to see. There we go. And this is going to pop up on dimensionals. And as I say, just got to make sure that you pop it up the right way. And I'm pretty sure that is the right way. And then we will come back to that. So as you can see, that's just the whole front of this card is just really, really accentuating this gorgeous designer series paper. And I will show you how we do the pop-up. So I'm just going to get my trimmer. So I've just cut this piece. It's just slightly smaller than the card base, and this is in basic white cardstock. And I'm going to take this over to the 2 centimetre mark. Now with our trimmers, the ruler on top that you slide the blade in also has marks on it. So I am going to stand up so that I can see it. And I'm going to take that down to 2.5. Down to 2.5. There we go. Then I'm going to flip it over. And I am going to do the same on this side. Take it down to 2.5. And then I'm going to turn it on its side, and I'm going to take it to 2.5 centimetres this time, and I'm going to use the scoring blade, and I'm going to run from the bottom of those 2 cuts and flip it over, and I'm going to do the same thing on that side. Now what this does is this gives us our little pop-up. I open that up. This is going to come up like so. So let me just bend that over, and I will get my oops, one, but that's all right. So you just then get your bone folder and give it a good crease, and this then pops up into the middle like so. Bend that over and give it another good crease with your bone folder. Okay, and then we have our little pop-up mechanism here. So we're going to glue that inside the card. So the best way to do that is to pop glue on one side like so. Must be getting near the end of my glue, but we'll see if we can make it to the end. And I don't know, it's getting a bit, let me grab the other one. Let's quickly open this one. Okay. So if anyone's got these papers out there, what one is your favorite out of the papers from this suite? I find it hard to decide. I quite like the pink, but then I quite like that beautiful deep green with the gold as well. There you go. Now the next thing, so you glue the bottom and then bring this over and just take that down and give it a good firm press on there to make sure that it's all together. Okay, so let's set these aside. The next step we're going to do, I'll just bring my bit of paper over, is to stamp. So I'm going to use the large image here, and I'm going to use the pale papaya, and I am then going to add a bit of the polished pink. So I'm going to ink up with the pale papaya. Then I'm going to grab my dauber, and I am going to dauber just around the edges with polished pink. And a little bit around the center. Now this will turn out different every time, but it really doesn't matter. Really just gives it a gorgeous. You love the green. I love the green too, Linda. It is, I think it was the pink originally, but I think it's the green now. I think I've switched to the green. So that's how the flower turns out, with a bit of purple pie and then using the polished pink dauber. And I'm just going to use the little centerpiece and use that in pale papaya. And then I'm going to do the same with the leaves. So I'll just close that up and grab the soft succulent. And just check. I have also got the evening evergreen. So we're just going to ink up in the soft succulent and just add a little bit of this evening evergreen around the edges. Just a little bit. It really doesn't make, it just makes a very subtle difference on this one. And pop one there. And pop one here. And then I'm just going to add some little flowers. Oop, a bit stiff, that one. I might do them in the pale papaya, I think. Just some of these. So these are 3 little flowers that are on here. Just add a couple. There we go. And this is going to be adhered to the other piece of soft succulent. Get rid of that little paper. This has certainly been one of my go-to sets, I must admit. I have really, I love playing with it. And it's so versatile in the sense that it's just so many different things you can do with it. Okay, now to pop this on, I'm going to just stand it up like this, and you've got the mechanism here that pops up. You just want to put the glue on this section here, the vertical part only. A bit of glue there. And then just stick that onto the bottom. Make sure it's centered, and then just hold it firmly until it's adhered. And that should just shut like that. Okay, the next thing, I've pre-cut this out of the gorgeous green piece, one that Linda was saying that she likes, and I think I actually like this one the best as well. The depth of this green is just stunning, and with the gold, it really is amazing. Okay, so I'm just going to add, now I'm not going to add glue to the tips. I want to just keep a little bit of movement on this. I'm trying to not add too much glue. We don't want glue all over the place, but so just little dots, just enough to stick it on, but not to go everywhere. And keeping the tips unglued, I suppose. No, just leaving them loose so that there's movement on them when you pop them on. Okay. So that's going to go about there, I think will do. Okay, now make sure that I did have the bow. Here we go. So I have used the lovely lipstick ribbon, and I've just cut it in half just to give that finer look bow. ribbon, rather than, sometimes you don't always want the really thick piece. So I find if you just cut this one in half, it's still absolutely stunning. And it works really, really well. Okay. I'm just going to tie a reasonably big bow here. And that is going to go that way. Put it that way. So I'll just grab a glue dot. Oh, come untangled. There we go. Oh, doesn't want to come out. There we go. And I'll pop that there. Now what? Yeah. There we go. Okay, now I have previously done, if it's not dropped on the floor, I have embossed already the happy birthday, which I think has dropped somewhere because I cannot see it. But that doesn't matter because I have one of these already made up, so I can show you. So this is the finished card. The happy birthday is white embossed, and the papers are the really, really main feature of the card. And I just love how this turned out in the colours. I love the pinks and the greens together. And we have the pop-up. So just that little bit of difference with the pop-up card, but it really does. Thank you, Linda. Yeah, I really liked how this turned out. It really really is, yeah, really stands out. But just a couple of other ways to use the designer series paper. This is a card that Jackie Williams designed, and it's just using the strips across there with the leaf, the large leaf image, the large leaf die in gold. And this is another one, which is just a sort of like a wallet, I suppose, where you can lift the top up and you can use the designer series paper there and open it up and do some stamping on the inside. So I hope that has given you some ideas on some more cards to make with this beautiful suite. As I say, I absolutely love it, and it's certainly been a go-to for me. Do let me know. As I say, Linda said the green. I'd love to hear what your favourite one is. And I will look forward to seeing you all again. Oh, just a couple of things. Don't forget, it's the last chance until tomorrow if you are wanting to get anything. Some things are up to half price. And from the 1st of July, we are going to have a designer series paper sale. So if you do have designer series paper that you love and want to get some extra of, then that is going to be the time to order them. So take care, and I will see you all again next week. Bye.